What did you think of Arrival, which is all about 12 alien spacecraft which position themselves around the Earth, and the American linguist, played by Amy Adams, who is enlisted by the government to try to communicate with them. Almost the entire movie is her and other scientists, but mainly her, trying to figure out a way to communicate with them, and that's sort of what it was like. However, again, the people of the world, being the people of the world, are not quite as patient as the scientists and linguists are at figuring this out, and as a result, things, get out of hand around the world, and things get a little tense there. And we they sort of figure out some things, hopefully, but is that enough to save the world? What do you think, Grandma? What do you think of the arrival, I guess?
I expected it to be more or less standard science fiction film. It turned out to be a lot more than that, in my opinion. Of course, the goal was to communicate. Here they are, stationed around the world, doing nothing. They're not reaching out, they're not, as far as Earthlings and humans, they're not trying to communicate with us, they're just there. They haven't attacked, they haven't done anything positive or negative. And our lady scientist, who is very good at all kinds of communication, comes and tries to figure out how to reach out to the one that has hovered over the United States in Montana.
What is their purpose here?
What is the purpose? Yes. Why are you here? What's going on?
So what did you think of it?
Well, the film turned out not to be, the story turned out not to be just a standard science fiction film. It turned out to be a lot more psychological and metaphysical, making you, the watcher of the story, having to think about the meaning of time, how time affects us. She says several times, for humans, time is linear. One day leads to the next, linear. According to what she's learning about the visitors, it's not at all like that in their whatever world it is. Anyway, it was fascinating to me that they had the story of what would happen across the world. How would humans react in our different societies to something like this happening? Our heroine was very good. Amy Adams, the actress, and the scientific partner that she had, that was trying to help in the mission, Jeremy Renner, he was very good. I thought it was a really good film. I enjoyed it, and it certainly kept my interest from beginning to end. I like science fiction. I like to have stories that challenge my imagination and give me a premise. Okay, this is the situation. How are we going to react to it? How is humanity going to react to it? I thought it was really, really good. What did you think?
Well, it certainly was fascinating. This is a prime example of a film that doesn't recycle old stories.
No, it certainly didn't.
Again, it's
No.
you really did not know where it was going or how it was going to end.
I expected it to be standard science fiction. You know, it wasn't.
But again, that's what kept you sort of really wanting to see, you know, what happens next. Again, it was all very well done. The director did a very good job of you know, producing this really a spectacle, you might say, you know, because it includes all the world and aliens and, you know, different cultures and such. It's you know, a lot to bring together in a film, and I think he did a very good job. The actors were all very good too. Again, Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, Forrest Whitaker, they're all very good. As far as the actual story goes, again, I thought it was an interesting sort of approach to this sort of alien landing thing that we've had in, you know, lots of films before. So it's, again, this is a different take on it.
It was a new idea.
Yeah, an interesting way to go with it.
Yeah.
I thought, you know, as fascinating as it was, and as interesting as it was, and I would recommend it. I did have some problems with it. I think that the linguist stuff got a little dense at times, and again, I think that you know, it's a fine line to go. I would assume, in terms of trying to figure out, well, how much do we get into this without confusing people or boring people with too much of this. And I think they did a pretty good job with that, but it was sort of a little much maybe. The other thing is this relationship between, again, what they were talking about, again, in terms of communicating and time and all of that you're talking about, is an interesting idea. It's an interesting idea to bring that together. I don't know that they were that successful. Again, I think that almost they needed a little more movie to really bring these concepts together. It's one thing to present it and to say, okay, well, this is what we're doing, and it's another thing to have it understandable for the audience. And again, I don't think that they quite, I mean, it's you realize what they're trying to do, but again, I don't know that they showed it all on the screen to make that connection really well done.
Needed to be a little more clear.
They could have needed maybe even just 10-15 minutes, really. They didn't really need a lot, but they needed more than they did to really bring this together. And so again, I would fault them on that. But
the concept, which you won't let me share with everyone.
No, you talked about the concept already, Grandma, about time not being linear and all that sort of stuff. You went into all of that already. Again,
but
that's fine. That's fine for them to say that. It's another thing for them to demonstrate it and show it and show the connection. They didn't really, I don't think, show the connection that well. But that's just my opinion.
Okay.
But again, I would recommend it. Again, it really is fascinating and it's very interesting. A lot of good performances and the production and everything. What would you say?
Definitely, yes. 2 thumbs up. This is a really good film. Very different from what I expected, and I appreciated that. I appreciated the fact that it was different, challenging,